At 86, my doctor told me I had cancer. I froze. My mind went blank. Everything I had worked for, all the years I thought I was strong, felt like it was slipping through my fingers. I imagined the worst. But the truth is, the real pain didn't come from the diagnosis itself. It came later, when I realized people began treating me differently. Some avoided me, some pitied me, and some quietly disappeared from my life as if I was already gone. Walking out of that hospital room, I felt powerless. All my life, I had survived hardships, raised a family, built a career, faced challenges head on. But that one word, cancer, made me feel invisible. I started noticing things I hadn't before, like people's looks, their silence, their subtle distancing. For the first time, I realized that life can change in an instant, and that realization shook me to my core. At first, people called, visited, and expressed concern. Weeks went by, and the calls stopped. The visits became rare. Some looked at me with pity. Others quietly disappeared, as if my life had already ended. I was still alive, but I felt invisible. That feeling, that loneliness, hurt deeper than the disease itself. Even though I was breathing, thinking, feeling, I felt as though I didn't matter anymore. People spoke about me in past tense, as if I had already disappeared. It was terrifying to realize that even when you are alive, people can treat you like you're gone. And that is a pain that cuts deeper than any illness. One night, sitting alone in the dark, I asked myself, is this how it ends? Waiting quietly while people forget me? I had two choices, give up and fade away, or fight. And in that moment, I chose to fight, not for anyone else, but for myself, to reclaim the life I thought I was losing. I started with my body. I stopped feeding it junk. I began walking every morning, drinking water, sleeping properly. For the first time in decades, I respected my health, not because I was afraid, but because I understood its true value. And each small change made me stronger, more alive. Next, I worked on my heart. I let go of anger, grudges, and stress I had carried for years. I forgave people, not for them, but for myself. I felt lighter with every resentment released. For the first time in decades, I felt a sense of peace, a sense of control over my emotions that I had never known before. I stopped chasing those who had left my life. Instead, I focused on the few who truly cared. I learned a powerful lesson. It's not about how many people love you. It's about who genuinely stands by you. And valuing them changed my perspective on life completely. Cancer taught me self-respect. I stopped letting others define me. I began to honor my own choices and values. I realized that life is too short to live for the approval of others. Each morning, I woke up feeling more like myself than I had in decades. I discovered a strength I didn't know existed. A strength not just in my body, but in my mind, in my spirit. Each morning, I would wake up and remind myself that today is another chance to fight, to live, to take back the life I thought I had lost. I started with small steps, a walk around my room, stretching my arms, breathing deeply, eating something nourishing instead of my usual convenience. It felt silly at first, like tiny victories that wouldn't matter, but slowly they added up. I realized strength isn't just about lifting heavy things or surviving hardships. It's about consistency. It's about making choices every single day that honor yourself. I smiled again. I laughed quietly at the little joys. Even a morning coffee became a ritual, a reminder that I'm alive. I'm here and I still matter. Cancer hadn't defeated me. The fear, the despair, the loneliness, I learned to rise above it. Every time I felt weak, I remembered the nights I spent scared and alone, and I refused to let those nights define me. And slowly, I felt alive again, in a way I hadn't in decades. I began recording everything I was grateful for. Sunlight filtering through the window, a kind word from a stranger, a smile from my grandchild, a quiet moment of peace. Gratitude became my anchor in the storm of fear and uncertainty. I would write for hours sometimes, letting each feeling of appreciation sink deep into my heart. Even on days when my body felt weak, when the illness weighed on me, I found joy in the smallest things, the warmth of tea in my hands, the sound of birds outside, the rhythm of my breath. Each note reminded me that life is still precious, even when everything seems lost. Gratitude taught me patience. It taught me resilience. It taught me that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate inside yourself, even in the darkest of times. By the time I closed my journal each night, I felt lighter, stronger, and somehow more alive. Life doesn't end with bad news. It begins with perspective. Cancer didn't define me. The people who left didn't define me. I defined my life again. Every step I took in the park, every breeze that touched my face, reminded me that life keeps moving, whether we are ready or not. I saw people laughing, couples holding hands, children running with joy, and I realized I could still be part of that world. I could still laugh. I could still connect. I could still love. It wasn't about how much time I had left. It was about how fully I chose to live the time I had. And in that realization, I found a new sense of purpose. I didn't just want to survive anymore. I wanted to truly live, to feel, to engage, to make each day count. That park became my sanctuary, my reminder that the world still has beauty. And I made a promise to myself. I will not waste another single moment on fear, despair, or people who do not value me. Here's the truth no one ever tells you. Pain comes from the disease, yes, but loneliness, pity, and being ignored, those cut deeper than any illness ever could. I felt it in the looks, the silence, the way people spoke to me like I was already gone, and I realized something important. You cannot control others, but you can control yourself. You can choose to rise above their pity, their avoidance, their whispers. Even in struggle, even in suffering, you can still claim your dignity, your strength, your life. I wish I had learned this lesson sooner. It would have saved me so much heartache. But now, I share it with you, hoping you will understand that your value is never diminished by what others think or by what happens to you. Perspective is everything. Life can change in an instant. A single moment can redefine everything you thought you knew. But so can your mindset, how you respond, how you view the world, how you treat yourself. It all matters. I learned that waiting for tragedy to teach you what matters is a mistake. Start living intentionally today. Take small steps. Make better choices. Love more. Forgive. Smile. Breathe. appreciate. Reclaim your life while you still can. Every sunrise is a gift, every breath a chance. And the most important lesson, that it's never too late to change. If my story touched you, I hope you'll stay with me. Subscribe to this channel. As long as I am alive, I will share the truths that people are afraid to speak, like this video. Share it with someone who needs it. Comment your name below and tell me, are you truly living or just waiting for life to pass by? Your choices matter. Every small action, every step forward, it all counts. Don't wait for a diagnosis, a tragedy, or someone's absence to wake you up. Live fully, love openly, forgive freely. Now let's continue. And remember, it's never too late to take back your life, to change, to rise, and to truly live.